So we have it now. The fourth semi-finalist of this Women's World Cup is confirmed. India in their home campaign are the fourth team after Australia, England, South Africa. With this victory over New Zealand by 53 runs, that means the T20 World Cup champions New Zealand and the rest of the teams below India on the points table are knocked out. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from this match between India and New Zealand at Navi Mumbai. India posted a massive score of 340 in 49 overs. One over was reduced because of rain, which has been following New Zealand around Sri Lanka and India. And India will be very chuffed with this batting performance because they started the World Cup with a number of collapses of top and middle order in their last couple of games. The top and middle order had done well, but lower order could not capitalize. And this time, finally, against New Zealand, they started with a double century stand of 212 between Smriti Mandhana and Pratika Rawal. Both scored centuries. They changed their batting order a little bit. Jamie Rodrigues came at number 3, scored a quick and sparkling 76 of 55, and they scored their highest total in a World Cup of 340, bettering their score of 330 against Australia in this World Cup. The centuries from Mandhana and Rawal really set it up. There was a curious moment when Mandhana was on 77 and she had started to walk off towards the dugout after being given out LBW on the field. She had reviewed it and then she saw there was something on Snicko, came back, scored her 14th ODI century, which is just one behind one of the all-time greats, Meg Lanning's 15 ODI centuries. For Rawal, it was her second ODI century, her first in World Cups, and one of her quicker knocks in this World Cup, which really set India up. One question that will be on the minds of a lot of Indian fans will be, is this India's ideal 11 or the perfect combination they had been searching for? And it comes towards the end of the league stage. They had made a number of changes. They started this World Cup with 5 bowling options, went to 6, and they returned to 5 bowling options. In this match against New Zealand, they brought back Jamie Rodrigues. They had dropped her for an extra bowling option in the previous match against England. This time they brought her back, promoted her to number 3, and they obviously had more batting depth, and it worked in a way. Even though they did not have to use all their batters, scored 340, and the scoreboard pressure and the cushion of their batting runs turned out to be enough against New Zealand. 5 bowlers, is that going to be enough? Their next match is against Bangladesh, not obviously among the best teams of this World Cup. India may or may not be tested against Bangladesh, but after that will come the semi-finals, and then we will come to know if this is the balance and the 11 they stick with, and if that actually takes them to the final and maybe to the trophy. Since T20 World Cup champions, New Zealand are now out of this World Cup. They'll be wondering what's on the road ahead for them. What do they take from this World Cup, and how do they go through this transition period? Because Sophie Devine is retiring from this format after this World Cup. Susie Bates has probably played her last World Cup, and Leah Tahuhu also turned 35 just before this World Cup. Who are going to be their replacements? Susie Bates already had a lean patch in this World Cup. Sophie Devine scored a lot of runs, but there were not too many batters who supported her. They'll be happy, extremely happy, that Brooke Halliday scored back-to-back half-centuries. If we count New Zealand's last 2 completed games, there were runs from a couple of other batters as well, but nothing too sparkling. Who will replace these 2 legendary batters? Who comes in for Leah Tahuhu whenever she leaves the format, maybe before the next ODI World Cup? These are questions they will have to look at after this World Cup. Although they have 1 game left against England in a few days, they would want to finish on a high, and they would want to give a grand farewell to their legendary ODI captain, Sophie Devine.